Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Thank you. Tonight was a brutal game. There's no other way to look at this football game tonight. Tonight, the Giants, I don't think that – I'm going to pull up the stats right now. I don't think that they ran it more than 30 yards all night long. And something that is frustrating as a Giants fan is that, everybody expects the Giants to be really good, because they look at the Giants and they look at them on paper, right? And they go, this is a good football team. They have Odell Beckham. They have Sterling Shepard. They have Evan Ingram. Like, after Evan Ingram was selected, everybody was like, wow, another weapon for Eli. That offense is going to be so dangerous. Like, that's what you hear. Oh, this offense with Evan Ingram is going to be so dangerous. You cannot win in the NFL on 3rd and 1 when you line up in the shotgun and have no running backs to either side when you line up empty in the shotgun. That's just not football. That's not winning football. That's not how it's played in the NFL. It's not how it's done in the NFL. And Ben McAdoo is soft. He's a soft coach. He's unable to get his message across to his players. He's arrogant. He thinks he's above everybody else. And I'm flat out tired, and I'm sure you guys are too. I'm flat out tired of the same old shit every single week. This isn't a news story. Every single game, just about every game, the offense under Ben McAdoo has been awful. And I don't want to hear tonight, I don't want to hear, oh, it's because of Odell Beckham. I really don't want to hear that excuse. Odell Beckham played in Green Bay last year. Odell Beckham played against the Vikings last year. Odell Beckham played against Dallas in week 1 where we could barely score any points. He played the Rams when the Giants could barely score any points. This team is pathetic. The offensive line of John Jerry. Justin Pugh isn't that good of a lineman, or else he'd be making a difference. Weston Richburg, everybody wants to crown his ass. He doesn't make a difference. And you have John Jerry. You have Justin Pugh. And John Jerry's awful. So your interior line is awful. Your running backs never practice running the football. They maybe converted 1 3rd and 1 tonight, and that was worthwhile. That got me the most excited is when they converted that 3rd and 1. And then in the red zone, when they got to the 3-yard line after what needed to be like 20 perfect throws and catches of 5 yards because you couldn't stretch that defense. Point is, with Eli tonight, Dallas, they only will rush 3 to 4 guys every single time. And when you do that, you then have 7 guys in coverage. So you're able to double Brandon Marshall all game. Sterling Shepard is being shadowed. So when you can't block, when you have no running game, you're able to pin your ears back and take care of everything, and you don't make the defense come up and respect the run at all. you're just going to get completely just shellacked in every facet of the game. And that's what happened tonight with this New York Giants offense. 3 points, no physicality, no toughness, and no plan. And this also goes to Jerry Reese. Even though Jerry Reese has drafted fairly well, and even though he put this defense back together, and a lot of it was because of Steve Spagnuolo. A lot is because of Spags, because of the scheme and everything, and I understand. But you just look at this game tonight, and you watch the tape and the footage, and there's no congruency. There was no selecting of linemen in the draft, no going up to get Garrett Bowles, not even getting Ramczyk, not even taking Forrest Lamp, a physical guy from Western Kentucky. And this coach, Ben McAdoo, wants to go West Coast offense with Eli Manning, who's 36 years old and has never played in the West Coast offense. And what he wants to do is force Eli into the shotgun and basically tell Eli Manning, who's prone to interceptions, to basically play just like a coward all game long. That's what Eli Manning plays like, because he's forced to throw screens. He can't take shots down the field anymore. I miss the old Eli that even though he would make interceptions, even though he'd throw, interception that would make you want to tear your hair out, he would also make plays on the flip side where it would be incredible plays, where he would test defense, where he would throw it deep to Toomer, throw it to Burris, where he would hit Victor Cruz. And that Eli Manning is just about dead. This Eli Manning is an old, aging, cowardly quarterback, and it's all because of the scheme of this offense. I used to get on Kevin Gilbride a little bit, but to tell you the truth, I really like Kevin Gilbride a heck of a lot now. That's for sure. I mean, this isn't a new story, for all of you out there, especially for Giants fans. I mean, the Green Bay game, it was exactly like that. When we went on Sunday night to Green Bay, or Monday night in Minnesota, we barely could get any yards as well. And even against the Rams, we got no yards. Against the Bears, no yards. Against the Bengals, we scratched and clawed to get 21 points. Against the Eagles, they were terrible. Against the Redskins, every single game, the Giants' offense has been downright atrocious and terrible. And we're all going to pretend that just because they signed fancy names in free agency, just because we get bored in the summer and we have to write our magazines and we have to play fantasy football and look at Sterling Shepard and Brandon Marshall and they signed Brandon Marshall for $6 million. The guy tonight wasn't even worth $1. He wasn't even there tonight. He was laughing on the sidelines, dropping passes. Brandon Marshall was maybe targeted once or twice. He had Anthony Brown on him, a 5'10" cornerback. They wouldn't throw him any back shoulder balls. You have Nolan Carroll, and then they had that guy Chidobe Awuzie. You have a rookie on Brandon freaking Marshall. It's not like this guy's 50 years old. It's not like this guy is like David Tyree after 5 years of retirement. It's Brandon Marshall. And this head coach refuses to make back shoulder throws to Brandon Marshall and utilizing him. They didn't even get it in his hands one time. They can't run the football. They don't throw it to Brandon Marshall at all. Roger Lewis had more receptions and more targets than Brandon Marshall tonight. Brandon Marshall, you can't even say he sucks, because he didn't even play the game tonight. He was just not there at all. It's embarrassing to be a New York Giants fan. To go into Dallas and put up 3 points on the road, it's flat out embarrassing, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of the same old shit every single year with this Ben McAdoo coach. Eli is 36 years old, and Eli Manning is soon going to hang it up, and he has the capability to win another championship. He has the ability to beat Tom Brady. He has balls of steel. He can make big-time throws. He can make big-time plays. Eli Manning can do that. Eli Manning is capable of winning championships. This defense is capable with Spagnuolo. Very capable of winning a 5th Super Bowl championship. But you have a coach that doesn't practice running the football, that doesn't know how to use his weapons, that doesn't know how to motivate his players, and you just have a culture that's completely in disarray. You don't have any football culture. Even Victor Cruz, one of our all-time favorites, he couldn't even function in this culture. He wasn't even buying in. He was off to Miami too. He's like, screw this. These guys ain't serious about football. Landon Collins is one of the few guys. Olivier Vernon, JPP, the defense, they still are clinging to what Giants football is all about. But you look at Giants football and it's running the football. It's Brandon Jacobs. It's Tiki Barber. It's guys like Ahmad Bradshaw. It's guys that get tough yards. There's no toughness on this team. This team is soft. 3rd and 1 in the shotgun, and you have no running backs to either side of you on 3rd and 1. That, my friends, is Ben McAdoo, a wussy. Words I cannot say or should not say on air. 2nd and 3 from the goal line, and you're trying to throw a fade route out of the shotgun when you need 3 damn yards to punch in a touchdown. And you can't throw a completed pass over 15 yards. And you have Brandon Marshall, a 2nd rounder in Sterling Shepard, Roger Lewis, and a 1st rounder in Evan Ingram that's young and can play. And you can't hit anything. You can't protect for shit. The team is embarrassing. Now, the defense, there are a couple of question marks. But let's get to the root of the problem. The New York Giants last year, let me tell you what they were. They were 2-3 before Odell Beckham miraculously beat the Baltimore Ravens, who weren't a playoff team. He hit the slant route against Baltimore and they won, right? Okay, Odell Beckham hit the slant route on 4th and 1 to save the Giants season. They then went to London and played Case Keenum, who's not even a starter in this league, and they played a coach that is no longer with us in the NFL, and Jeff Fisher, that's a retired coach at the moment. They won that game. Woohoo! 17-10 in an ugly, shitty football game that I don't even think I should have even woke up for. Then they played against the Eagles, where Carson Wentz gift-wrapped them a couple of interceptions. They got thoroughly outplayed, but streaked by, and Eli had one of his best games. The offense was okay that game. Then they played the Bengals, not a playoff team, lucky as heck to win that game, 21-19 against a shitty opponent. Then listen to the next game, the Chicago Bears with Jay Cutler. A horrific team. They lost the first half 6-0, and it took a second half of miraculous defensive effort to even beat the sorry-ass Bears. This is the playoff team that we're talking about. Then they played Cleveland. If you watch that game, were they good against Cleveland? Heck no, they barely squeaked by. Then they went to Pittsburgh and lost, came back to Dallas. How many points did that offense score against the Cowboys? 10. How many did they score against the Lions? 17. This offense has never been good under Ben McAdoo. It's always been trash. I take the under in every single football game that I see the Giants play, because their offense will never, I don't think under Ben McAdoo, until I see something else, this offense will never be there. And you look at the Giants now, they have to go to Tampa, they go to the Eagles. They ain't beating the Eagles. Heck no. They couldn't even beat them last year when the Eagles were pathetically out of the playoff race and their heart wasn't even in it. They couldn't even beat the sorry-ass Eagles. And this Giants team with Ben McAdoo, if you don't make the playoffs, you leave and we go get David Shaw from Stanford. That's not having a great season, that fits Giants culture absolutely perfectly, of running the football, a physical bell cow football. And you know what else, guys? For all of you that are watching this Periscope right now, I am totally down with trading Odell Beckham for linemen and picks and maybe a runner. Like, look at Leonard Fournette. Look at how special Leonard Fournette is, guys. Look at how special he is, and imagine if he was in a Giants uniform, Leonard Fournette. If we can have him instead of the boat guy, Odell Beckham Jr., instead of, Dove commercial Odell Beckham Jr., the catch Odell Beckham Jr., that's all about himself. Imagine if the Giants can have tough physical linemen. We get rid of Jerry. We trim the fat, get rid of Jerry, Bobby Hart, get rid of some of these guys, Eric Flowers, and just get linemen, running backs, and picks, and we load up with Eli, and Eli as a 39-year-old can try to make a run at Lombardi and get three Super Bowls and retire as maybe one of the top 15 greatest. If he wins another championship, 3 Super Bowls, beats Tom again, he's going to be a top 20 quarterback of all time because Terry Bradshaw already is, and Eli has that capability, but he's had no offensive line, he's had no help around him. I believe in Eli. I always will. He is a competitor. He made some serious plays tonight. The Evan Ingram pass was nice. He's just playing conservative. He's not well coached enough. And listen, I still believe in Eli. I still am clinging on hope. This defense is ready. Ben McAdoo. If we had David Shaw here, if Beckham was gone and we had a running back and we had some linemen that can actually play Giants football, and Eli can go play action fake and doesn't have to throw it 40 times a game, Eli is not that type of quarterback to play in the West Coast system. He's never been a West Coast guy. He ain't going to change into a West Coast guy. He ain't the dump off. He ain't the short thrower. Go get Phillip Rivers and play in California if you want to do that shit, because Eli ain't about that life. Eli's about the play action life. That's what he's about. You know what Eli's about? Play action fake and going deep. Running the ball, getting 7 yards, 2nd and 3. Eli, slant route, first down. 1st and 10, you run it for 4 yards with Brandon Jacobs. You maybe run it again, 3rd and 2. Then on 3rd and 2, you hand it to the fullback, whether it was Madison Hitchcock or whatever. When you had Kareem McKenzie, Finn, when you had Sean O'Hara, you would run it 3 times to get a first down. And those days are over. Those days are long over. Those days of toughness, of Giants football, of getting in the trenches and playing hard, tough football. Instead, we see soft as shit, baby powder, garbage, vomit, and the Dallas Cowboys were on the field the entire night tonight. Eli Manning is play action. Let's go deep. Let's suck the defense in, and let's let Eli go play action, and let's let him ball the hell out. That's what Eli Manning's about. That's what Giants football is all about. And this Davis Webb, Cal stuff that they're trying to push down our throats, I don't think New Jerseyans want that. I don't think New Yorkers want that type of football. I don't think that Giants fans are accepted when you have a primetime showing in front of the country and again you only churn up 3 points. I don't think that that's acceptable. I don't know about y'all, but tonight was so unacceptable. The defense with Zeke Elliott played okay. I can understand it. Our defense is going to get better. We're saving up for the second half of the season. Olivier Vernon, everybody's saving up for the second half of the season. There's no excuse for the offense to be that bad. Olivier Vernon's going to be a lot better, guys, 1,000%, okay? This defense is going to get crazy. It's going to get exotic. It's like a ride. It's a roller coaster. We're starting off real slow. We're taking it real easy. We're playing some basic zone. We ain't throwing blitzes at people yet. We're waiting. We're waiting till the midway point of the year. Midway point of this year, this defense that's already okay right now, okay to really good, is going to be a legendary defense. By the time we hit week 8, the Giants defense is going to be killing people, murdering people in games. They might not even score touchdowns, but by the time that the Giants can unleash Olivier Vernon and throw out all our crazy blitzes, shit's going to hit the fan. I mean, you watch that Giants defense in the second half of last year. We're not a first half of the year defensive football team because we know that we want to play football in January with this defense and let it ride. And the Giants defense in Green Bay, they let it ride. It's just that when your offense can't give you any time of possession at all, I don't care how good you are. I mean, they held them to 16 points tonight with their offense. How many yards did they get? 30 yards of rushing? I mean, the defense, again, played exactly how I expected. Okay, they bent but did not break. Okay, I'll admit Eli Apple on plays was a little lost. It can get corrected. Very correctable mistakes. And again, we're holding out on our exotic blitzes until later in the year. Later in the year, we're going to turn up. We're going to play really good defense. We're going to play incredible defensive football. We're going to be the #1 defense when it gets to late in the year with Landon Collins, with JPP, Olivier Vernon, Devin Kennard, how about BJ Goodson, Casillas. The Giants defense, you know what they have? They have a great coach in Spagnuolo, and they have character, guys. They have Landon Collins. They have attitude on that side of the ball that Jerseyans can be proud of. Landon Collins, you can be proud of that guy. You can be proud of Darian Thompson. You can be proud of the physical play of Jackrabbit. You can get behind that sort of play. But can you get behind Brandon Marshall smiling on the sidelines after he drops another ball? Can you get, excited about seeing Paul Perkins charge into the offensive lineman's legs for 2 yards and then maybe do it one more time and get maybe -1 yards? Last statistics before I head out, but I needed to just vent. Guys, when you see a shit show like that, you need to just vent, okay? That's what I needed to do. I needed to come here and vent. And Ben McAdoo, I would be really, I'm telling you guys, I would be glad if David Shaw can come right now. If we can call up a flight, get a flight to Stanford right now, and David Shaw, and his Stanford Cardinal that are kind of, in purgatory in the Pac-12, if we can get David in here, let's start the bandwagon right now. Let's get that coach right now. Let's get David Shaw to New York right now. And Ben McAdoo, even though this team made the playoffs, it was a product of a poor schedule. And I don't have confidence that he's going to turn it around. So maybe I'll wait till week 4. Good news. I mean, not the good news, but the Giants are not. They might be 1-3 at that time. I don't think they're beating the Eagles, going to the Bucs. They might be 1-4, and at that point, you pull the trigger immediately on Ben McAdoo because there's too much talent, and Eli is old, and Eli doesn't have a lot of time. Eli is ready to win a Super Bowl. You got to feed the man right now. If you can't get him a coach, if you can't get it to Eli now, then Eli's never going to get another one, and that should be serious. That should be a serious concern. Is let's get Eli another ring, okay? I'm going to go look here at the stats for tonight's game. I really appreciate you guys hanging with me tonight. I'm going to read the final stats. A weird part of me is feeling a little okay. You know why? Because a weird part of me is feeling okay, and maybe Eli 220 yards. I wonder if that was garbage time. How many rushing yards did the Giants have tonight? 35. 12 yards, 12 rushing attempts for 2.9 yards. The time of possession tonight, where is that? 34-25, but the third quarter really was the one that kind of tied it up. Rushing first downs, Dallas, 12-21, 21-12. Or 20, they dominated in every aspect of the game, and it wasn't like Ezekiel Elliott ran all over the team either. So I'll go ahead. I'll go back and you know what? For now, I want to see if you guys are commenting on the video. So I'll go ahead now and look at what you guys are talking about. I'll go ahead and I'll read some of your comments here. I hope you can subscribe to this channel. Okay. Should the Falcons take a long look at Dan Quinn? No. You guys are a lucky team that you have Dan Quinn. Exactly, Danny G. Just very conservative play calling. They need a running back. I think that they need offensive linemen. I'm not sure any running back can run behind this line, but I would love Fournette and I'd love physicality, and I'd be willing to trade Beckham, who's a wide receiver, for physicality because Eli isn't that type of guy. He's not West Coast. You don't have Phillip Rivers, no Ken Wisenhunt. That isn't Eli. You're playing to something that's not his strength. The organization just is so freaking confusing, because, in the draft room last year, the fact that they don't get any running back linemen, and the fact that they don't draft anybody, it's really sad, guys. It's really, really sad. So I'm going to let you guys watch this back. I know a lot of you guys are rolling in right now, and, I appreciate that. And go ahead and watch the replay, though. I let it be known my thoughts, and I'll just say this. Ben McAdoo, I believe Benny Mac, it's going to be, by week 4, we might be jetting him out. So that's the only good part, is that Ben, he could be gone week 4. He might be left in Tampa Bay. He might be just left on the tarmac there. And I don't want to see guys lose their job, but we're Giants fans. We care about the product. And we get an interim guy in here that can make magic happen, look like a Leslie Frazier, somebody to come just take over the reins for a bit, let Spags run the show as the interim dude. Maybe get Sullivan, just pack the whole offensive house and leave him. And then, get some running back, just start practicing under center with Eli again, get Gilbride back, just bring everything back, that's what I want to see. So could be 1-3, could be really, could really, really be cool if Ben actually goes. And listen, Giants fans, so if Ben does great the rest of the way, which I don't see, if something wild happens with this offense, I'll stand corrected on the guy. Guy made the postseason. But you just have to look. You kind of have to look closer than just a record. You have to look at the games. You have to look at the progress of this team. And that had to do with schedule and defense, not Ben McAdoo. So I'll leave you guys there. Not gonna sleep all that well. It's not gonna be an easy week. It's gonna be a tough week. It's gonna be a brutal week. I mean, just thinking about the product is awful. And for you guys coming into Meadowlands next week, we'll be drinking before the game. We'll be having some cocktails before the game. Just trying, and we'll try to watch the team play Detroit next week. So, listen, Stafford on the road. It's the one game I feel good about in this 4-game stretch. Alrighty, boys and girls, take care. Try to watch the Viking Saints and forget all about this, right? I'll see y'all. Have a good night, guys.